The world was shaken today with the devastating news that Yandy Smith, a legendary figure from love and hip-hop, had been involved in a horrific car accident, leaving her fighting for her life. Reports are coming in that her condition is so critical that doctors are giving her little chance of survival. But what followed the crash left her closest friends and family in complete shock. The man who promised to always stand by her was seen sobbing as he rushed to the hospital. However, what no one expected was the bombshell revelation that came hours later. Was this just a tragic accident, or was there something more behind it? What hidden secrets and unresolved rivalries could have played a part in this shocking turn of events? Yandy's fans are stunned, her family is in turmoil, and the drama surrounding the crash is far from over. Hold on as we dive into the unfolding story that no one could have predicted, because when it comes to Yandy Smith, everything is about to change. You won't believe the shocking details that emerged on social media with an intensity no one expected. At first, only vague rumors circulated about a crash on Bedford Highway that left Yandy in critical condition. But as the facts came to light, the horrifying truth was revealed. Yandy, the fearless queen of love and hip-hop, was lying in a hospital bed fighting for her life, a nightmare no one could have foreseen. Fans everywhere were left reeling, unsure of what to believe. As the situation worsened by the hour, the seriousness of her injuries became clear. The crash took place during rush hour, and by the time emergency services arrived, it was too late. Yandy was unconscious, suffering from multiple fractures and severe head trauma. The real shock came when doctors disclosed the full extent of her injuries. Her husband received the dreaded call no spouse ever wants to hear. Witnesses reported that Yandy's car was speeding before it swerved off the road and crashed into a concrete barrier. The sound of screeching tires followed by the horrific thud of metal hitting cement was heard, a moment that left her loved ones unprepared for what they were about to face. He rushed to the hospital, his mind racing with fear, not only for her health but for the mounting tension between them. The unresolved conflicts that had plagued their relationship for months had made everything feel more complicated. He, struggling with his own issues related to his past and his role in Yandy's life, found himself facing a situation far more overwhelming than any reality show drama. Upon reaching the hospital, he was met with an icy atmosphere, making everything feel even more serious. His heart pounded as he wondered how things had gotten to this point. Was it fate, or was something more sinister at play? Was there someone out there wishing harm upon Yandy? Back at home, the tension continued to rise as doctors worked tirelessly to stabilize her. The sight of Yandy's bruised and swollen face, her body connected to machines, was something he could never have prepared for. The man who had stood by her side, helping her build her empire, now faced the grim reality of possibly losing everything. Yandy's mother, a strong and opinionated woman, wasted no time making her presence felt. But instead of offering comfort, she only added fuel to the already high tensions. Her bitterness toward him was apparent, and she didn't hesitate to criticize his role in Yandy's life, accusing him of failing to be there when it mattered most. Close friends quickly gathered around, but not everyone was on the same page, and the underlying family dynamics that had long been simmering began to erupt. "She's fighting for her life, and you're over there crying like it's your fault," Yandy's mother snapped, her voice cold and full of contempt, her accusations cutting through the air like sharp blades. The tension between him and Yandy's mother reached its peak, and it didn't help that Devin, Yandy's brother, was equally unsupportive. "Don't think you're going to play the victim here. She's been putting up with your nonsense for years. And now this happens," Devin said, glaring at him from across the room as the drama continued to unfold. Yandy Smith's fans on social media were heartbroken by the news of her accident. However, as often happens in the celebrity world, conspiracy theories began to spread, with some suggesting that the crash wasn't an accident at all, but rather the result of foul play. The man felt trapped, burdened by the constant judgment coming from every direction. All he wanted was to be by his wife's side, to hold her hand and comfort her, assuring her everything would be fine. But the accusations and mistrust made that nearly impossible. Rumors continued to spread, with each theory becoming more outrageous than the last. Some even went viral, claiming that Yandy had been speeding intentionally, possibly trying to escape from something or someone. But why would she do that? What could be so serious that Yandy would put her life at risk in such a reckless way? Could it be that MC wasn't the supportive husband he appeared to be? Was he pushing her too hard? Fans were torn between defending their favorite star and speculating that issues within her relationship might have led to the crash. Just when things seemed like they couldn't get worse, a shocking twist turned everything upside down. While MC sat by Yandy's bedside, his phone buzzed with a message that would change everything. The text, stemming from all the unresolved tension between them, only made an already heartbreaking situation even darker and more complicated. When MC read the message, his blood ran cold. The sender claimed to know the truth behind the crash, and according to the message, a third party with a personal vendetta against Yandy was involved. The thought that someone might have intentionally targeted her hit him like a punch to the gut. How could anyone want to harm her like that? The uncertainty of what lay ahead grew even more daunting. Before the crash, MC had struggled to stay composed, but now, sitting in that sterile hospital room, the weight of the situation began to hit him harder than ever. Could it really be true that someone was out to get her? MC couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the crash than anyone was admitting. Meanwhile, the drama unfolding in the waiting room was only deepening the rifts within Yandy's family, which had already been strained by long-standing tensions. Devin, Yandy's brother, had taken control of the situation and insisted that he be the one to make decisions about Yandy's care, refusing to let MC have any say in the matter. This was the final straw. He paced back and forth in the waiting room, his frustration boiling over. Why are we even waiting for him to make decisions? He's been nothing but a liability in Yandy's life. Look at where we are now. She's fighting for her life, and he's been absent when she needed him most. Yandy's mother, never one to hold back, immediately voiced her dissatisfaction. She had never trusted MC, and now, in this moment of crisis, she used that mistrust as ammunition. You think you can just walk in here like a hero? You couldn't even protect her from your past, and now look at her on the brink of death, she hissed, glaring at MC. The tension in the room was palpable, like static electricity, and MC felt the weight of every judgmental word. The accusations pierced his heart, leaving him frozen and unsure of how to respond. What shocked him even more was the overwhelming sense of loneliness, realizing that the support he desperately needed from his family was nowhere to be found. Just as he was about to speak up in his defense, Yandy's best friend Tasha rushed into the waiting room. Her face was pale and her eyes wide with fear. She ignored everyone else in the room and headed straight for MC. "I know what's going on," Tasha whispered urgently, her voice trembling. MC leaned in, his voice tight, as he asked, "What are you talking about?" She replied, "I know who did this." Her words hung in the air like a bombshell, ready to explode. "It wasn't an accident," she continued. "Yandy was targeted." The revelation sent a cold chill down MC's spine. Desperation flooded him as he grabbed her arm, eager for more information. His heart raced as he pressed her for details. Tasha quickly glanced around the room, ensuring no one was listening, before continuing. "You have to be careful," she warned. "There's someone from her past who holds a serious grudge against her. They know her like the..." Tasha knew Yandy's past inside and out, having shared countless experiences with her over the years. However, even she couldn't ignore that Yandy had accumulated her fair share of enemies, ruthless individuals who harbored jealousy and resentment for her success. But this was too much to bear. "I have to find out who did this. I need answers," he muttered through clenched teeth, his voice seething with determination as he exchanged whispers with Tasha. Meanwhile, the rest of the family remained embroiled in their emotional outbursts. Yandy's mother, now angrier than ever, turned toward MC, her voice dripping with venom. "Don't think you can just stroll in here and act like you're the one who's going to save her. You failed her over and over, and now you think you're the one who can pull her through this?" She spat, glaring at him with all the resentment she had built up over the years. "We don't need you here. You're just another reminder of her mistakes." MC reached his breaking point. "I'm the one here by her side, and I'll be the one here when she wakes up. If she wakes up," he said, his voice raw with emotion. For a brief moment, the room fell silent, the weight of his words sinking in. Devin, still trying to maintain his stance, only deepened the rift between the family members. Yandy's mother now stood as an unyielding barrier between him and Yandy, intensifying the pressure MC felt. The tension in the room grew thicker with every passing moment. Tasha's cryptic message weighed heavily on MC, who was now driven by the need to uncover the truth. Despite the family chaos, he couldn't shake the thought that someone from Yandy's past might have intentionally sought to destroy her. Who could have orchestrated such a cruel and calculated act? As the pieces of the puzzle slowly began to fall into place, MC realized that he needed to dig deeper. Time was running out, and if Yandy had any hope of survival, he had to find the answers fast. But even as MC focused on finding the truth, the family conflict escalated. Yandy's path to fame had been anything but smooth. She had faced immense betrayal, jealousy, and fierce competition to get where she was. Along the way, she had made enemies, some of whom were far more dangerous than others. But who would go so far as to target her in such a vicious and calculated manner? As MC's mind raced with confusion and disbelief, Yandy's mother, still seething with anger, confronted him once more. This time, she dropped a bombshell that would shake him to his core. You think you know everything about her, that you know what's best for her? Well, I have a secret of my own, one you won't believe, she said, leaning in with her voice barely above a whisper. You really think you can fix all of this? There's so much you don't understand about Yandy, so much she's kept hidden from everyone. MC had always believed he and Yandy shared everything, that their bond was unbreakable. But now, his mother-in-law's words shattered that belief. He had no idea there were secrets Yandy had kept from him, and the revelation left him stunned. Tell me what you mean, he demanded, his voice shaking with both anger and desperation. What are you talking about? Yandy's mother, never one to hold back, made it clear that there were things MC didn't know. He had always understood that Yandy had a complicated past, but he never imagined it could come back to haunt her in such a devastating way. Was the crash truly an accident, or was it a calculated act of revenge from someone in her past? He asked, his voice cracking with emotion. You think her life has been all sunshine and rainbows? That she hasn't made mistakes? I'm telling you, Yandy has a dark past. Things that, if revealed, would ruin everything you think you know about her. Someone is using that past against her. The realization hit him like a ton of bricks. He couldn't walk away now. He had to know more. Who is it? He asked, his voice barely audible, frustration building as the walls seemed to close in on him. Yandy's mother sighed deeply, clearly torn between wanting to protect her daughter and revealing painful truths. You think you can handle it, but the truth is, someone close to us, someone from Yandy's past, has been plotting against her for years. Someone who knew exactly how to do it. And now, they've done it, she explained, her voice heavy with sorrow. She scanned the room to make sure no one else was listening before finally revealing the shocking name. It's Tasha. The name struck him like a punch to the stomach. Tasha, Yandy's best friend, the one person he had trusted more than anyone else. Could it really be her? The shock left him speechless for a moment, and he felt the weight of the betrayal crush him. To stay updated on the unfolding drama, don't miss the next chapter. It's quickly approaching, and you won't want to miss what happens next.